Hey, what's going on? This is Jerry over at Wealth Dynamics. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And I wanted to come at you with a real quick video on how to stop trading your time for money. Now, why do I bring this up? The reason I bring this up is because I don't think most of us think of it this way. I think we think a job is a normal thing. You have to have one. Everyone has one, and there's not an alternative. And you're supposed to work that job until you're 60 and you retire. That's what we've been taught, right? And so people kind of just accept it. They don't really think outside of the box when they don't like their job, or they can't pay their bills, or they can't live a life of abundance and prosperity in every single area. They actually justify it. They're like, well, this is normal. And they make sense of why they're going through what they're going through. So I want to cover with you how to stop trading your time for money. That is the definition of a job, trading time for money. Nothing against jobs. I provide jobs. I have employees. I think jobs are great. But if you don't have a way to stop trading your time for money, a job is not great forever. Like, a job is a good way to get you where you need to go for a period of time until you don't need one anymore. And once you don't need one anymore, hopefully there's a way for you to grow out of that job and be able to live off of passive income and not trade your time for money any longer. So how do we go about doing this? The first thing is this, guys. You have to realize that the only way to stop trading your time for money is to have something else produce income. Okay, so something else has to produce income. You have to, like, it's an economic planet. You have to make exchanges. You have to have money. That's never going to go away. That's like, if there was anything stable in life, it's that fact. Everything requires money. Okay, you need oxygen and you need money. Those are the two things that you have to have in life, right? So when you're thinking like producing passive income, you actually want to look at, all right, how do I acquire assets? An asset is something you own. It's an equity position, or it could be debt that you own. Someone else loaned money from you. Technically, that's an asset as well. And it produces income for you. Every single month, it produces income. And so if you think about, you know, every time you trade your time for money, you think about dollars per hour. I want you to start thinking instead about passive income per investment. Passive income per investment. So if I need $5,000 a month to live on, think about that. $5,000 a month to live on, that's what I need. And every time I invest, let's say, you know, every time I invest $70K, I make $500 a month. So every time I invest $70K, I make $500 a month in passive income. Well, that would mean that I would need to do 10 of those deals, passive income per investment, 10 of those deals to be able to replace my income. Okay, so $70K at $500 a month on 10 of those deals. Now, what does that accumulate to? That means that I need 70,000 times 10. I need $700,000 in assets producing $5,000 a month for me. Okay, that's about an 8, maybe a 9% annual rate of return. Okay, and so when you think about that, now you think about, all right, well, how do I get $700,000? And how do I do it in a way where it produces passive income, meaning that I didn't have to sell the asset? Now, why do I bring that up? Most investors buy stocks, they buy bonds, they buy mutual funds, they do flips, they do all this speculation where you actually have to sell the asset to generate the income. Guys, that is dangerous. That's how you run out of money. When you think about think about Rockefeller, right? The Rockefeller Family Trust. Do you think that they invested that in a bunch of stuff they're going to liquidate? Or do you think they invested that in businesses and in assets that are going to be there forever and produce income for the trust forever? Rockefeller knew his stuff. He didn't stick it in a bunch of speculation. He's like, man, I need this to be around forever. I need this to last. I need this to fund my family. I need this to fund public works. I need this to keep the family name going. And so you need to be thinking the same way, where you're not sticking your money inside of an account that A, you can't touch till you're 60. B, you got to sell all your assets in order to generate any income. And the risk of that is you're going to run out of assets. Inflation will continue to devalue your currency. You'll have to sell more and more assets every year to produce the same amount of buying power, and you will run out. Versus with passive income, I don't have to sell anything. They pay me every single month. I hold them. If my buying power reduces, check this out. If my buying power reduces, instead of selling one, I get more of them. Would you rather sell to get more, or would you rather get more to get more? I would rather have more assets to get more, because that means my values are going up and I own more and I've got more assets. my balance sheet's gonna look better. Versus if I did the speculation thing and I have to sell my asset to get more money, my balance sheet is shrinking and my cash flow is going down. It's a terrible way to invest. So the reason I share that is because a lot of people are preaching passive income, and when you go on like their e-course or their website or their book, you know, it's a bunch of speculative stuff. It's a bunch of things that really aren't proven. And the way you do this is the same way that the Rockefellers did it, the Carnegies did it, the Vanderbilts did it. The way you do it has been a proven system for over like probably 3 or 4 centuries. And if you look at that consistently, you're like, why would I change it? Because in 2019, somebody had a new idea. This has worked for 200 years. Okay, so if you're watching this right now and this makes sense to you and you're like, man, I want to check this thing out and see how can I stop trading my time for money, and I would like some help maybe looking at which assets do I acquire, where do I put the money in the interim while I'm waiting to accumulate those assets, I want to make you an offer. Go to sacredaccount.com, sacredaccount.com, and that is going to give you some information on an account that we utilize with our clients to help them accumulate for just that. Going into real estate investments, going into private lending, going into income producing and cash flowing investments. So again, sacredaccount.com. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you soon.